Welcome back to The Devil's a Part-Timer Anime Review, episode number 5. We're reviewing the last 2 episodes of season 1, and we'll also discuss my final thoughts in this season. Excuse me. So, Sato arrives at where this building is. I don't know where in Tokyo the heck this place is. There's a barrier. He uses a lot of his magic to, get through the barrier. Also in this episode, Oba wakes up. First time, episode 5. Yes, he's been coma since episode 5. He wakes up. Our artist in the hospital. And of course, Oba escapes. Artist is basically in the hospital, but he's out by the very next episode. But there's an explanation for that. And of course, he breaks out, he basically goes to Sato's apartment, runs to Lucifer, where they cause some chaos because, of course, Sato is battling Sorel, the angel who's voiced by a guy who doesn't voice act anymore, Scott Freeman. I'm not going to discuss any more about him. I discussed him right in the last video, so moving on there. Yeah, so Sato battles him and beats him by transforming his mop into a freaking sword. And beats him, doesn't kill him. And it's for the next episode, like right after he beat him, he just restored the whole area up that had been damaged. And he also decided to throw it into a portal to cap it off. That's what we'll reveal in the next episode, but so it was a great conclusion to that storyline. The storyline in this arc and going to episode 7. So great set of episodes. 13 is more like a wrap up mostly. It's hinted that he might go back to Isha, but not really. He has no magic to do it. So there's that. So then something weird happens. Basically, of course, the manager comes back in this episode, and there's a scream because in the Walker Freezer, Sorel is back. And he's falling madly in love with the GM. With the manager there. Yep, her as his goddess of beauty. And she beats the crap out of him and throws him out. Later on, he sends her a bouquet of flowers because he's madly in love with her. Yeah, because when you saw him, like, oh, it's the manager from SFC. Yep. So, mostly you can kind of think of this episode. Episode 30 is mostly like a wrap-up of the thing. It's similar to what they did with, also this episode, Lucifer gets into trouble, once again. This time it wasn't because he left his PSP Vita over in an abandoned school building. This time it was due to him basically purchasing a whole bunch of stuff he had no money for. Which, of course, it was like a bunch of beds and water softeners, like a whole bunch of stuff. So they had to basically pay off some money for some trackers he bought, which actually played a part. And so Sato and the general decided to take temp jobs to pay off the debt, which they had no money to pay for it. So, yeah. And as they paid it off, I'm not sure because, yeah, he ends up getting this whole bunch of stuff there. Like, what the... Of course, Sato has no idea about the fact that a truck back up to his place. This is, of course, Chia and Emmy decide to tell him this. He has no idea about it. And, of course, Lucifer gets punched for it, basically, to being an idiot. They call up the agency, the business who sent him this stuff, and they won't take it back. They go there, talking to a brick wall. But because, technically, according to Japan, Lucifer was not, let's say, legally allowed to do this. Thanks, clever, because basically Sato put down his age as 18, and since he's his guardian, well, yeah. So, because of the fact the guardian was not present, all the stuff was returned, and the guy was begrudgingly, and I think that he's voiced by, from the sound of it, it's not David Wade per se, it sounds more like Stultz. Yes. So, then of course, basically like, where... It kind of wrapped this. It seemed like basically wraps the season good high note, and that is the last animation that anime will see for this series for 9 years. Now, has anybody ever heard of a series where it takes 9 years to do a season 2? It's almost like basically that they're planning on doing this, but it's like they were hesitant to do a season 2. Of course, I will be watching in the future. Don't worry about that. That'll be the next thing I'll be watching for anime-wise. That's not one of the new stuff. But even though, yes, I have finished up watching Devil's Part-Timer Season 1, I'm not going back to Kamen Rider Black. Not just yet. I have gotten done another Doctor Who story. I'll be discussing in the next video. and then I'm going to do 3 more, and that'll be it. Yep. Final thoughts on season 1 for the show. For Devil is a Part-Timer. It's an excellent season. It's surprising the fact that now you have Suru and Chie's mom get their actors replaced with season 2. Of course, in the case of Suru, there was a good reason. He got fired. In the case of Chie's mom, they replaced her with Jane Marceri to Stephanie Young. I have no idea why the heck they did this for. Plus, of course, season 2 is an introduction to a very cute little girl who becomes a big part of the books. Yep. But not really much else to say about these 2 episodes. They're both really good. The season as a whole is awesome. And basically, we plant seeds for stuff we'll see 9 years later, which I'll review probably in a few weeks, maybe. Depends how long it takes me to get through Kamen Rider Black and basically the first half of Kamen Rider Black RX. So yes, that's pretty much it for particular review. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this. During the course of the thing with Sir before Sato got to him, Sero wanted back Amelia's blade so badly, so he proceeded to open up her shirt and try to dig into her chest to get the damn thing. And of course, Sato, being the most sensible guy, telling Amelia, hey, your shirt's open, and she buttons up her shirt. Yeah, and the fact that she's in his arms. Yeah, it's later hints the fact that she has fallen for him, despite the fact that's actually her enemy. Yes, one of 2 others, aside from Chia, who's obvious that she's in love with him. The fact that these 2 have developed feelings for him. It's hinted at for Emmy, and it's also hinted on for Krista. Yes. Who turns against Sura because basically what he's doing is wrong, though he reforms. Yes, it's kind of weird where we have the main villain behind the story arc gets reformed with like the very next episode. Yeah, I thought this was kind of weird. He's still a bit creepy. He's not like living with him. No, plus he works for the church, so basically he's nowhere near it. So yeah, that's episode review. Next up, Doctor Who. Okay, next video. Bye.